Good morning, student. Today we are going to start chapter number 2, part 5th. That is life cycle of Nephrolepis. In life cycle of Nephrolepis, the next point in this life cycle, that is the fertilization, then young sporophyte, and special methods of reproduction, that is apospory and apogamy. So see here, first point, that is the fertilization. Fertilization takes place only in the presence of water. Water is essential for anthrozoid to swim towards archegonia and to break open the neck of archegonia. Prothallus is monoecious. As a rule, there is cross fertilization as antheridium mature much before the archegonia. When the archegonium matures, the venter canal cells and neck canal cells disintegrate to form mucilaginous substance. The latter absorb water and swells. As a result, lead cells break open and the mucilage ooze out. The mucilage contains some chemical substance which attracts swarms of anthrozoids. Therefore, the fertilization takes place by the process of chemotaxis. Okay. The anthrozoids enter the venter through the neck, and one of them penetrates the egg and fuse with the egg nucleus to form diploid nucleus or zygote, which is 2n in number. The zygote produces as a cell wall around it and forms a oospore. It is the initiation of sporophyte. Then after fertilization, we must see that how the young sporophyte is developed. See here, many archegonia of the prothallus are fertilized, but only one oospore divides and redivides mitotically within the venter to develop embryo. The early embryo consists of foot, root, stem, apex and cotyledons. The foot is embedded into the prothallus and absorbs nourishments for the development sporophyte till it becomes independent. Therefore, initially the sporophyte is dependent on the gametophyte. Later on, root enters into the soil while the cotyledons and stem apex bends come up through the notch of the prothallus and develop into a young sporophyte. The prothallus degenerates and a young sporophyte develops into a new fern plants. Then next point, that is alternation of generations. See here, the life cycle of Nephrolepis shows two distinct alternation of generations in which the sporophytic generation is the dominant phase and gametophytic generation is reduced. They alternate one after another in the life cycle of Nephrolepis plants. The sporophyte is the asexual generation. It is diploid and dominant stage. It is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Therefore, it is physiologically independent. At maturity, some of the leaflets or pinna develops into sporophylls. Sporophylls produce a group of sporangia called as sori on the lower surface of the pinnae. Each sporangium consists of 16th diploid spore mother cells which undergoes reduction division, that is meiosis, and develops 64 haploid spores. The formation of spores is the indication of the beginning of gametophyte. Spores are dispersed in dry climatic condition. When a spore falls on suitable surface, it germinates and gives rise to the gametophyte. The gametophyte of fern is called prothallus. It is an independent stage in the life cycle. The gametophyte is the sexual generation which is haploid as it is produced from spores. Okay. Prothallus is green and monoecious. At maturity, it produces both Antheridia and Archegonia, which develop male gamete called as anthrozoids and female gamete called as eggshell. The fertilization takes place in presence of water by the process of chemotaxis. The gametes fuse to form diploid zygote, which produces a wall around the developing oospore. Oospore is the beginning of sporophyte. After the period of rest, it germinates within the venter to develop into an embryo, which further develop into young sporophyte. The prothallus generally degenerate and the young sporophyte develops into independent fern plant. In this way, sporophytic generation alternate with the gametophytic generation, and this is called as alternation of generation. Okay. The life cycle of Nephrolepis can be schematically represented as in a diagram. Okay, thank you.